Summary of George Orwell's 1984. George Orwell's 1984 is a chilling exploration of a totalitarian future where individuality is crushed, truth is manipulated, and freedom is an illusion. Published in 1949, the novel remains a timeless warning about the dangers of unchecked power, surveillance, and the erosion of truth. Let's journey into the world of 1984, a place where Big Brother is always watching. Part 1. The World of Oceania. Narrator. The story is set in Airstrip 1, formerly known as Great Britain, a province of the superstate Oceania. The world is divided into three superstates: Oceania, Eurasia, and East Asia, perpetually at war with one another. Oceania is ruled by the party, led by the enigmatic Big Brother, whose face is plastered on posters with the caption, "Big Brother is watching you." The party maintains absolute control through pervasive surveillance, propaganda, and the manipulation of language and history. Telescreens, installed in every home and public space, monitor citizens' every move and word. The thought police ruthlessly hunt down anyone suspected of thought crime, the mere act of thinking against the party. The protagonist, Winston Smith, is a low-ranking member of the party who works at the Ministry of Truth. His job is to alter historical records to align with the party's ever-changing narrative. Winston is disillusioned with the party's oppressive regime and secretly harbors rebellious thoughts. He begins to question the reality imposed by the party and yearns for freedom and truth. Part 2. Winston's Rebellion. Narrator. Winston's discontent grows as he starts to keep a secret diary, an act punishable by death. In his diary, he writes about his hatred for the party and his desire to join the Brotherhood, a rumored underground resistance movement. He becomes fascinated by the past, a time before the party's rule, and seeks evidence of a different reality. Winston's life takes a dramatic turn when he meets Julia, a young woman who works in the fiction department. Despite the party's strict prohibition on personal relationships, Winston and Julia begin a clandestine affair. They meet in secret, renting a room above an antique shop in the Prole district, where the working-class citizens live in relative freedom, ignored by the party. For Winston, Julia represents hope and rebellion. However, their relationship is more about physical intimacy and personal defiance than a political act. Julia is pragmatic and less concerned with overthrowing the party. She simply wants to enjoy life in small, secret ways. Part 3. The party's control. Narrator. As Winston and Julia continue their secret meetings, Winston becomes increasingly obsessed with understanding the party's true nature. He recalls a pivotal moment when he witnessed the party altering historical records during a public execution. This memory fuels his desire to uncover the truth. Winston's curiosity leads him to O'Brien, a high-ranking party member whom he believes is a member of the Brotherhood. O'Brien gives Winston a copy of the book, a forbidden text that supposedly explains the party's ideology and the true nature of the world. Winston and Julia read the book together, hoping it will provide answers and a path to resistance. However, their hope is short-lived. One day, the thought police storm their hiding place and arrest them. Winston and Julia are betrayed by Mr. Charrington, the seemingly kind shopkeeper who had rented them the room. He is revealed to be a member of the thought police. Part 4. The Horror of Room 101. Narrator. Winston is taken to the Ministry of Love, where he undergoes brutal interrogation and torture. O'Brien, who oversees the process, reveals that he is not a member of the Brotherhood but a loyal party enforcer. O'Brien's goal is to break Winston's spirit and force him to accept the party's absolute truth. O'Brien explains the party's philosophy, War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. The party seeks power for its own sake, and its ultimate goal is to control reality itself. O'Brien forces Winston to confront his deepest fears, culminating in Room 101, where prisoners face their worst nightmares. For Winston, Room 101 contains rats, his greatest fear. In a moment of sheer terror, he betrays Julia, begging O'Brien to torture her instead. This act of betrayal marks the final destruction of Winston's individuality and resistance. Part 5. The Triumph of the Party. Narrator. After his release, Winston is a broken man. He no longer harbors rebellious thoughts and has fully submitted to the party's ideology. He encounters Julia, who has also been tortured and brainwashed. Their love, once a symbol of defiance, is now hollow and meaningless. In the final scene, Winston sits in a cafe, watching a news broadcast celebrating a military victory. He realizes that he has come to love Big Brother. The party has won, not just by controlling actions, but by dominating minds. Winston's spirit is extinguished, and he is finally at peace with the party's version of reality. Themes and analysis. Narrator. 1984 is a profound exploration of themes that resonate deeply in our modern world. Orwell's depiction of totalitarianism, surveillance, and the manipulation of truth serves as a stark warning. The novel raises critical questions about the nature of power, the fragility of truth, and the resilience of the human spirit. The concept of doublethink, the ability to hold two contradictory beliefs simultaneously, highlights the party's control over reality. Language, too, is a tool of oppression, as seen in the creation of Newspeak, a simplified language designed to eliminate rebellious thoughts. Orwell's vision of a dystopian future is not just a work of fiction, but a cautionary tale. It reminds us of the importance of vigilance, critical thinking, and the defense of truth in the face of authoritarianism. Closing thoughts. Narrator. George Orwell's 1984 is more than a novel. It's a mirror reflecting the dangers of unchecked power and the erosion of freedom. Its haunting portrayal of a society stripped of individuality and truth continues to resonate, urging us to question the world around us and safeguard the values that define our humanity. As we close this chapter, let us remember Orwell's warning: in a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act.